Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. I am filming this sitting on the floor in front of a dresser because our home is still quite messy in preparation for the move. And the camera is also very close to me, so we'll see how it goes and how well you can see things that I hold up and stuff, but we'll try. Today I am back with a Q3 recap, recapping how my capsule played out, what I liked, what I didn't like, what I used the most, what I didn't use at all, if any, if there are any gaps, and so on. So basically the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'm going to try to run through it all quite quickly. Now, I already mentioned in my Q4 capsule planning video, which I will link up here on the cards for you, I already mentioned that now that we are in September, everything is cold. It's not full-on fall, I guess. I don't really know what definition I want to use for fall, but it definitely is a lot colder than it was in July and even August. And the leaves are changing, you know, much more rain than usual, all of that. So I guess fall is here, but my fall/fall winter capsule, it doesn't start until October 1st. So I have a while to go. I'm filming this sort of mid-September, and I am cold. And that is a problem I'm having right now with my capsule, is that it's just not warm enough. I do have a fair few cardigans that I put into this capsule, but they go through the rotation quite quickly, like they end up in the wash quite frequently because I use them so much, which I didn't do in the beginning of this capsule. And I am already kind of dreading the next 2-ish weeks of me filming this, of how I will stay warm. I'm someone who wears a lot of tights in the winter, thick tights, thinner tights, just tights, and a lot of dresses, and that's something I really enjoy doing. And I do have access to those tights. They are not, you know, put aside to only be used in the winter months. So I do have access to them, but the problem is that most of them are black, and with my capsule being so very colorful, I don't really feel like it goes. I feel like there's a little bit of conflict there. Plus, I have now also packed away a lot of those tights. They used to be in this drawer right here, but I've packed away many of them now because I will not use all of them until, you know, the next quarter and until we have moved. And so I figured I could already pack most of them away. I also have a couple of knee-high socks, like knit socks, that I've started using because they are quite warm, and one of those pairs are grey, which makes it a little bit softer than, you know, harsh black to a bright pink shirt or something. That is just a personal preference thing, but it's something I've been considering. And so yeah, the capsule right now feels cold and not quite what I want it to be, and I can't really fix that. Although I did cheat a little bit at home on the weekend because I borrowed a cardigan from my husband, which technically used to be mine, and then I was like, I don't wear this, do you want it? And then now that it's his, it's much more appealing to me because that's how it works. And so I wore that as sort of a loungewear thing. And at home I do have a lot more options than I do outside of the home, because at home I could put on, I mean, any pajamas, layers of pajamas. I could wear my dressing gown and so on, which are all very warm and nice. The problem is when I leave home, which I do about 5 days a week at least, of having to put on, you know, presentable, seeing people clothes and not having warm enough pieces. Now, since I started my capsules back in January of this year, I've been meaning to track how much I use each piece per capsule. And I started that back in January. It went fine, and then I just stopped tracking because I filmed a teeny tiny little video every day of me just walking up to the camera and then away. And I didn't get very far, and so I stopped, and then I haven't done it since. And so that makes it a little bit difficult for me to remember what I've been wearing in the past 2.5–3 months. But my big oversized white shirt that is currently in the wash, but I'll try to insert a clip of it here, that has been worn continuously. I think that has been in the wash every single time we've done laundry, which has been about every other week. I love that shirt. It's so comfortable. It's just a big oversized shirt. There's nothing special to it, but I just always feel very comfortable and confident in it. So I've been wearing that a lot. Plus, it has worked with every single pair of bottoms that I have in my capsule, which is very good. I have also been wearing this dress a lot. This is a dress that has been featured in every single capsule this year and worn a lot every single capsule of the year. And I've just had a lot of fun throughout this capsule of wearing dresses a lot. I'm a fall person at heart. I do love my snuggly sweaters and all that, but I do also still wear skirts and dresses into winter, just like I said, with tights. But in summer, when it's been warm enough to be bare-legged and wear dresses, has just been real nice as well. So I do think all of the dresses I put into my capsule, except one, which I'll talk about in a second, has gotten a lot of wear. Overall, I have been very happy with my capsule. It's just now on the tail end where things aren't quite working, but it's been a very successful capsule and I like most of the pieces I have put into it. I have 4 pieces I want to talk about that haven't quite worked. One of them being the dress I briefly touched upon moments ago. And I'm going to walk you through these 4 things and why they haven't worked and thoughts for them for the future. The first piece I am very, very, very sad about because it's this skirt. This is a midi-length skirt, colourful, bright, very comfortable, buttons down the front and about midi length. Very, very comfortable, soft cotton, very just light and airy. I got this last year and I got it at the end of summer last year, and so it wasn't the right season for me to wear it. It didn't feel like a very autumnal or wintry piece to me, and so I set it aside and I included it in this capsule because the Q2 capsule was too cold. So I put it into my Q3 capsule and I was so excited to wear it, and then the first time I did, it ripped. You can't really tell, can you? So there are buttons on, like buttonholes on this side, and the buttons are on this side, and a button just came off and there's now a large hole in the fabric, which my husband does tell me is fixable, so I guess I should get on that at some point. And there's also another hole in the fabric further down, I don't know how well you can see that, there, that I don't know where it came from, because I don't think there was a button there, because there is, oh no, there is actually a correlating buttonhole, but I don't have that button. And so this made me really sad. It broke back in early July, the first time I wore it, and that made me really sad. And then I haven't taken the time to fix it. I still will, I gotta figure out how to fix it. And I do still have the one button that ripped off, but I don't have the other one. So I gotta find another matching or semi-matching button as well. But I love this skirt. It was so comfortable for the short little while I got to wear it, and I will definitely keep it and I'll definitely fix it. One problem with it though is that it doesn't quite go with anything in my wardrobe or in my capsule that isn't neutral. I wore this with the beige tank top the first and only time I wore it, and it will work with that. It would work with all the white tops, of which I had 4 if we count the stripy, the strappy tank top. Not the stripy, the strappy tank top. So like it does work with things, but I don't have anything of this purple color or this pink or this olive mustard color. I'm not quite sure what that is. I mean, it might actually work with the mustard top in my Q4 capsule. See video here, but the top and the skirt I feel are for different seasons, and so that's a bit of a problem. But I love this skirt. I will fix it. I will definitely keep wearing it for hopefully years to come. Next up, another thing I didn't really like as much as I hoped is another pair of bottoms. It is my ripped like 3/4 length jeans. They are fine. I like how they look, but I do not like how they feel. There is something about the fit of them. They are my size, so I don't really know what the problem is, but you know, things shrink in the wash, or they're just, you know, the pattern is just not quite right. They are too tight in the crotch, and so when I sit down it just kind of pulls, and it's not that it looks weird necessarily, it's that it feels very uncomfortable. I have still worn these and they do look, like I said, they do look really good, but they aren't the most comfortable, and I don't like wearing things that aren't comfortable. Life is too short to wear things that don't fit you right, in my opinion, and I honestly don't know if I will keep these, and that makes me sad because I've wanted a pair of ripped jeans for a while. I think they look real cool, but I just don't feel comfortable in them, and I think maybe it's time to pass them on to someone else or try to rework them somehow, but I don't really know how I would, in an easy and not weird looking way, make them more comfortable in the crotch. So we'll see. But they have served me well. They're nice. I like this wash of denim, and the rips and stuff are in good places. But I will also say that the rips on my thighs, so like this one and this one, especially this one, when I sit down, my thighs spill out of them. And that to me also kind of says that they are too small. But yes, sad that these didn't really work out, but I have worn these a fair bit anyway because I like the way they looked and because they were more like, when it was a cool-ish day but not a cold day, these were a lot better than the full-length solid, not ripped jeans I had in my capsule. Next up, something I'm very sad about, which is the dress I touched upon earlier, and it is this dress that I have a video, I'm gonna link that up here, where I took in the shoulders of this dress because it was too big, which made the boobs too gapey, and so I shortened the straps, which made this, you know, sit higher and therefore not gape as much. It didn't work. Definitely an improvement from what it was before I changed it, but it was still too booby. As someone whose size changes a bit throughout the seasons or throughout the cycle, I think I was at a different stage when I fixed this dress compared to when I wore this dress. And I was just really uncomfortable when I wore this because it kept sliding down and I kept feeling exposed. I did wear a bra underneath, but I just kept feeling very uncomfortable and like pulling it up and covering up with a cardigan, and it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. I might still be able to fix this, although I'm starting to doubt it, and that makes me really sad because I love this print and I love the style of this dress, but it just didn't work. And so this dress, just like the skirt, got worn once because I just couldn't put myself through being that uncomfortable. And the last item I want to talk about for this segment is this wrap dress. This is a dress that used to be my mom's, and then she asked me a couple years ago if I wanted it, and I said yes. And I am just not comfortable with how this fits. The size is fine, like it's not actually too small, but it gets very tight over my stomach, and I don't like how that looks on me because to me that looks like I have a baby bump, and I don't, and I don't want people to think that I do. And so I'm just not comfortable in it, and a bit like the previous dress, I do find myself sort of covering up and not really standing proud in it, and so it's just not been enjoyable. I will not be keeping this dress, I will not be trying to fix this dress, but my husband does sew a lot and he likes having different fabrics to sew with, so I'll either donate this to someone who can wear this instead of me, or he will be playing around with this fabric and making something new out of it, upcycling it somehow. I still think it's pretty decent that there were 4 things that didn't work out for different reasons, 3 things that didn't work and 1 thing that broke and I didn't fix in time to keep wearing it. Looking back on my Q1 capsule, there were also a few things, I want to say like 5-ish maybe, that I took out of that capsule at the end and set aside to be donated or upcycled somehow. And yes, it would have been good if everything I put into my capsule were things that I loved and wore constantly and never had any issues with. But to me, this is also proof that I have actually worn the things I put in, and I have had the chance to discover what works and what doesn't work. I'm not saying that I'll never again wear a wrap dress, and I'm not saying I will never again wear a pair of ripped jeans, but these didn't work, and if they don't serve me well, they don't have to stay in my wardrobe. I can pass them on to someone or something else. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's a positive thing. I have worn everything in my capsule. I don't think there's anything that I didn't wear at all. So that's really good. And I am learning a fair bit about myself and my style preferences and my likes and dislikes when it comes to clothing throughout this experiment. So I just gotta push through the next 2-ish weeks of me filming this and not get too cold. Hopefully the weather isn't gonna get much colder, but you never know. And then I get to start using my Q4 capsule, which again I will have linked up above. And since I put that together so early, I did put that together early September when I had almost a month left of having to wear my Q3 capsule, I think maybe I'm longing for it even more now that I'm getting cold. And I know that in my Q4 capsule I have, you know, knit sweaters and, you know, warm dresses, but like cardigans and all nice things like that, plus a completely new color palette, and that's gonna be really fun to play around with. I have really enjoyed the colors that I put into this capsule. I do like my bright colors, but I'm really excited to get into the fall winter season and start my Q4 capsule. But that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with another video on Monday, so I hope to see you then. Bye!